Yeah. We really boxing. Who wanted the baddest? Let's see.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO. This how it's finna go. I'ma throw some jabs. Make them think my punch is weaker than I hook his ass. This the ring, not the kitchen, but I'ma cook his ass. Me and him, that's a pro versus the rookie class. All my life I had to fight, but I still love it. Me and BVO got moves that you can't steal from us. And these haters be throwing shots, but I don't feel nothing. I ain't gonna lie, shit, they alright, but we a little rougher. Stepping for the title and face your rival, this ain't no little tussle. Bet I be no bird, being chicken to get your feathers ruffled. Footwork, I'm dancing around my opponent like the Cupid shuffle. Good work, bodies hit the flow, they can't move a muscle. The upside is we ain't in the streets, shooting and shooting up. Catch me in the ring, sticking, moving and suited up. I know everybody can eat, but I ain't full enough. Oh, you said it's smoking some beef, I guess I'm pulling up. Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO.
Yeah. We really boxing. Who wanted the baddest? Let's see.
Oh, we boxing?
Yo, what's up? It's your boy BVO Boxing. It's your boy D Free, aka the Oscar hater, aka I Don't Respect Green Magazine. What's going on, Free? How you feeling, man?
I'm chilling. I mean, it's fight week, I guess.
Oh yeah, and don't forget the Browns won. Don't forget the Browns won, man. We got another one. Getting ready for the bowl. So all the Brown haters out there, I want y'all to know we going to the dance. So.
I bet you won't bet on it.
We'll talk behind the scenes, man. You talk a big game. We talking about the Browns, baby.
I bet you won't bet your life on it.
Hey, but we got a lot to get into. It's fight week, man. We got your boy, man, the Puerto Rican star himself, man, Sigurd Shakur, getting ready to take on Los Santos, man. Who you think's gonna win that fight, man?
I think Shakur gonna win. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout like everybody believe it is, but I think he's gonna win.
So what you think about Jamel Herring came out recently and just said, actually today, and said he thinks that Los Santos want to beat Shakur to death. What you think about that?
I mean, I'm not surprised that some people think that De Los Santos will beat Shakur Stevenson because De Los Santos is a good fighter. I just don't think he's getting the respect that's due to him. A lot of people just think that he hasn't fought nobody or whatever, so they just overlooking him. I mean, truth be told, Shakur Stevenson hasn't really fought anybody. If you want to be truthfully speaking, except for Jamel Herring, Oscar Valdez, he hasn't really fought anybody neither. So,
yeah, I mean that's a good point. I mean he's fought a lot of old guys. I mean at the end of the day, man, the biggest critique of Shakur has been the fact that he's not willing to step in the ring with a real guy with a pulse. I think it's just sad to see that, man. But to my brother Juan, he said, aka the Puerto Rican King, aka D Free.
You already know.
I knew Juan had something to say about somebody being Puerto Rican. Once you found out he was Puerto Rican, man. I knew he was gonna do that.
Yeah.
Salute to my Muslim brother, man, McLean, man. Salam alaikum, brother. How you feeling, man?
What's going on, Clarence?
But you know, I think the thing that's so funny about this fight is, man, if he knocks Sugar Shakur out, man, will he get full credit?
Most definitely. I mean, he get more credit than Devin Haney, Teofimo, Tank Davis. He get more credit than all of them because everybody's picking Shakur Stevenson to walk through him. I mean, everybody's saying Shakur Stevenson is the best at 135. They're saying Shakur Stevenson to beat Tank Davis. They're saying Shakur Stevenson to beat Devin Haney. So if this man go out there and he knocks him out, I mean, he got to get the credit. If you don't get that man credit, you just a hater.
Hey, salute to my brother Bruce Gas. Salute to Quickly in the chat. My man Juan said, "Be free. BVO is hating on the king. Let him know."
What's going on, Quick?
I don't know. I don't know about that, but
yeah, I mean, like I said, if you don't give De Los Santos credit for beating Shakur Stevenson, you just a hater. Because, like I said, everybody's picking Shakur Stevenson to beat Tank Davis. They picked Shakur Stevenson to beat Devin Haney. They said that Shakur Stevenson is the best defensive fighter since Floyd Mayweather. So if this man goes out there and he knocks him out, he gets nothing but the credit.
Yeah, you know, I think the funny thing about boxing, man, I think it's a lose-lose for Los Santos because if you beat them, they'll just say it was just two Spanish guys and it was a dust up. Because I'm starting to see people are starting to see through the smoke and mirrors that is Sugar Shakur. Because I think I could be wrong, but he comes across like he's some type of tough guy. I remember he called, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was calling one of his opponents a cop, and I don't know if he's a boxer or a thug. I don't know which one he is, but I'll say this. I'm hoping that he gets knocked out. I don't think he will, but I will be rooting for Los Santos that day, man. What about you?
I don't know if he comes across as the tough guy. I mean, to me, he don't come across as a tough guy. He comes across as a pretty boy that know how to box. I mean, he got to be some kind of tough. He grew up in Newark, New Jersey. I mean, I know about Newark, New Jersey. I had some folks that stay out there, so I know Newark, New Jersey is not an easy city to grow up in. So he got to be somewhat tough. But I don't think he come across as a tough guy. But like I said, I got Shakur Stevenson beating him, but I don't think it's going to be a wash. Now, if he goes out there and he does wash De Los Santos, then I got to give Shakur Stevenson all the credit as well because De Los Santos is not an easy guy that you could just walk through.
Yeah, you know, that's a good point. But I'll say this: when you talk about Newark, New Jersey, it's just like the boogie down, man. Bronx, it's just a filthy area. It's not really that bad a place. It's just filthy, man. Like you wouldn't want to live there.
Well, whether it's filthy or not, you gotta be tough to grow up there because Southeast DC is filthy as well. But you gotta be tough to grow up there. You ain't growing up in Berry Farms and you ain't tough. If you are, that's because you stayed. If you grew up in Berry Farms and you wasn't tough, it's because you stayed in the house the whole time.
And one thing
I'm just saying.
One thing about you,
hey,
I think
I don't know nobody from Berry Farms that played outside and hung out outside that wasn't tough. Some kind of tough. Now they might not have been the baddest man out there, but they was tough.
I feel you, man. My man, he said De Los Santos was nasty. He's a heavy puncher, and he has quick feet. Salute to my man DS, my man Picasso. I see you got a new picture, man. From actually now. Wow, look at my man Picasso with a brand new picture, man.
Oh,
Lord. JC Penney's got him a new picture, man. I'm proud of you, man. Congrats.
Picasso trying to hide his identity.
Yeah.
He try to make everybody think he's young again. Picasso, if you don't go get daggone Tyrese picture up off your daggone thumbnail.
And it look like Tyrese from Sweet Lady. No. But all jokes aside, man, shout out to the Bronx, man. I'm just having some fun. Shout out to because my grandpa was from East Orange. But I'll say this, man. I think Shakur, man, really got all the time in the world. I just hope that going forward, he does a better job of not pushing off this tough guy because that messes up the money. I mean, one of my favorite rappers, one of the best rappers ever rapped to me, and I'm sure D3 agree with this, like Mace. Man, you don't hear Mace something on tough guy stuff, man. It's all about being a fly dude that's going to maybe do something and just chilling, man. Like I don't know what I don't know what Shakur's doing with all this tough guy stuff.
Hey,
But
man, I don't know. I never grew up trying to be a tough guy. I grew up trying to be smart. It's better to be smart than to be tough. Because if you're smart, you can think your way out of issues.
yeah, that's a good point. But let me ask you this: going back to boxing, man, what do you think about JaRon Boots Ennis? And I know I'm gonna get some flex. I'm waiting on the call already. What do you think about him getting a belt emailed to him? Is that like the most cowardice way to get a belt, or am I tripping?
He didn't get his belt emailed to him.
They put it in the. They put it through email and email it to him.
They notify him through the email that he's going to be elevated as the champion. He won't get his belt until he fights in the ring and actually wins.
Okay, but they sent him over the paper to let him know he's a champ. That he's the email champion already, right?
Yeah, I mean that's what they do with everybody that gets elevated, because that's the same thing they did with Larry Holmes when he got the IBF belt. They notified him that they was gonna make him the IBF champion. So ain't nobody calling Larry Holmes email champ. Oh, my bad. I take that back. Ain't nobody calling Larry Holmes the post office champion.
Hey,
There wasn't no email back then. It was the post office. They sent everything through the mail. So ain't nobody calling him the post office champion.
I'll say this, man. I'll say this. When it comes to Shakur, not Shakur. When it comes to JaRon Ennis, man, I just thought that was just a really coward way to get the belt. I mean, to actually have somebody email you the belt. I mean, I would want to win the belt in the ring. I don't know about you. I would want to win the belt in the ring. I wouldn't want to win the belt with somebody emailing it to them, man. It's just ridiculous, man. That's the kind of stuff we deal with in boxing because Oscar De La Hoya would never do this. Floyd Mayweather Jr.
You
wouldn't
said
do this.
you'll mail it back.
I would mail it back to him. I wouldn't want no email belt.
Why? You ain't getting the belt. They just notify you. You ain't getting the belt until you win that match. He's going to come in the ring and be introduced as the IBF champion, but he ain't going to have a belt when he walk in the ring. He'll have a belt once he win that championship.
Hey, salute to my man Picasso saying he got his nuts on the counter. Pause. I know what he's talking about, but that's sick. We ain't got my man G5 to make that noise for you, but he said, man, I'm kind of confident in your skill. I mean, it's anything you can do, you have to have confidence in your skill. Um, I don't think that Shakur is confident. I think he's projecting something. Because if he was confident, he would have had the nuts to fight somebody like Devin the American Dream Haney. And for him not to fight Haney just shows you like he's just doing a lot of talking, man. What do you think about that?
You said say that again?
I said, what do you think about? I said, I think Sugar Shakur is projecting. I don't think he's really who he says he is because why would he deny a title shot at Undisputed versus the American Dream? All he wanted to do was move Devin out of position, man. That's what he mainly did. What you think about
that? That's like asking a dude that's selling a car for $50,000 and you say you're gonna buy it for 40. You're like, man, I'm not selling to you for 40. I don't want the car, but I'm not going to give it to you for 40 when I know it's worth 50. No, he not. He know he's worth more than 25. If he knows him being a mandatory guarantees him 30%, why take 25%? I mean, if truth be speaking, if you want to put the shoe on the other foot, if Devin Haney was that confident that he would beat Shakur Stevenson, why wouldn't you offer him the 30% instead of offering him 25?
Hold on. You talking about the Undisputed champion?
No, I don't care. He's not the mandatory of Undisputed. He's the mandatory of the WBC, which means that he's guaranteed at a minimum of 30% split.
So now we moving the goalpost.
No, I'm not. That's the goalpost. That is the goalpost. I'm not moving it nowhere. That is the goalpost. He's the WBC mandatory. And as the WBC mandatory, you're guaranteed a minimum of a 30% split. That's why he went to the WBC. He didn't call all of them and say, hey, I think I'm petitioning to get a bigger split. No, he went to the WBC and said, I want to go ahead and pursue with the opening negotiations. He went to the WBC. He didn't go to the rest of the sanctioned body. He's the WBC mandatory.
Hey, it's funny, man. You say that, but you let him off the hook because you like him. I mean,
no, I like all of them. I like Devin Haney as well.
I've never heard you say a positive thing about Devin Haney ever. Like never ever have I heard the same thing positive.
You obviously you never heard me say anything positive about Devin Haney because you new to TWT and you ain't been watching me long.
But you know, I think
That's why you haven't heard.
The funny thing about my man D3, man, as today, you see he ain't got his video on, so you're actually giving you some good points. When he ain't got that hat on, he giving you some good points. But he really dropped the ball on that.
What have I said bad about Devin Haney?
I haven't heard you say anything good about him, man. He's undisputed champion. I mean, only bad thing you can talk about Devin Haney on is his father. That's the main thing you can talk about.
If you never heard me say anything good about him, that means you heard me say something bad about him.
Never heard something bad about him. I just never heard you say anything.
Okay, so I there's no reason to talk about it. He's handling his business. There's no reason to talk about him. The only reason why I'm talking about it is because you saying that Shakur should have took the 25%. And I'm saying if the shoe was on the other foot, if Devin Haney was just as confident, he would have offered him a minimum of 30%. Or why not give him the minimum of 30% if you just as confident? I'm not saying Devin Haney's not confident. I'm not saying Shakur Stevenson's not confident. I'm just saying that you put the shoe on the other foot.
I mean, I think you're forgetting that Devin Haney will probably hurt a guy like Shakur, who's never fought anybody. That's the thing.
I mean, that's all the more reason why you take the fight. You offer him the extra 5%. Okay, you want the extra 5? I'll give you the extra 5. I'm gonna hurt you. This man put out tape about your father talking on the low and all this stuff. Okay, I'm gonna give you the extra 5 so I can hurt you and show everybody you ain't who you say you are. That's how I look at it.
My brother Diaz said, "Quit crying. These folks like Tyrese." He said everybody calling him a fake Picasso. My man Terry Picasso. He said they did the same to Ken Norton. So what? Oh Lord. Let me see. He said I'm really biologically, numerically around 30 years younger than what I really am. I'm gonna say this. I think it's just crazy for us to not, say something about Sugar Shakur. And I want to go back to this the email champion, Boot Ennis. I think it's a travesty, man, that these guys don't have the nuts to win a belt in the ring anymore. It's like they want everything headed to them. And I think JaRon Ennis is just the latest cat to do some dirty business tactics to try to steal the belt.
He had
the belt for 3 freaking months.
Okay, but do you call Devin Haney an email champion?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We know Devin.
You call Jamal an email champion?
Absolutely.
You call Larry Holmes an email champion?
Well, they didn't have email back then. He just got.
You call him the post office champion?
They just made the belt for him. They cheated and made the belt for him.
No, they didn't just make a belt for him. The IBF been in existence before Larry Holmes. They just became a known sanctioner. They just became relevant. Yeah. They've been in business. They just became relevant. So that they didn't just make a belt for Larry Holmes. They already had a belt. They said, we want to make you our IBF champion. So do you call him a post office champion?
I think you move it.
He didn't win it in the ring. He didn't win it in the ring. He didn't win it in the ring.
The fact that he stole a belt. I mean, he stole a belt. I mean, for them to take a belt from Terrence Crawford like this it's a travesty, man.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. That man, Jamel. That man, Bud Crawford told the IBF he was not fighting him. That man is the interim champion, which means he's in line to fight for the title. The IBF doesn't give out interim championship, and when they do, it's only for a year. And Bud Crawford said, "There's no reward in fighting Boots. I'm not fighting him." And then he turned around and said, "I'm gonna go to 68 and fight Canelo." So you already let it be known you have no intention on fighting that man for the title. So you saying you wish he would have won in the ring? He was trying to. He was in line to fight him in the ring. That man, Bud, turned it down. He said, "I'm not fighting you." Bud turned it down. Boots didn't turn it down. Bud did.
He could have waited, Free. He could have waited. He could have stood on business and waited.
No. Waited for what? Waited for Bud to drop the belts, and then they're going to do the same exact thing. They're going to automatically say you're the champion. The same exact thing they would have did.
Ali wouldn't have did that. Ali wouldn't have did that. De La Hoya wouldn't have did that.
Listen, what I'm telling you. If he waited for Bud to go to 54 or 68 to fight Canelo or fight Earl. After he fight Earl, he say, I'm staying at 54 or I'm going to 68. They would have stripped him of the belts, and he would have been, in turn, named the IBF champion. So all they did was say, we're not waiting. Bud already gave us our answer, because what you don't know is they already notified him. They said, we need to know what you're going to do. Bud said, I am not fighting that man. He said, I'm not fighting him. So they said, okay, since you're not fighting him, you're going to fight at 54, where we're not going to get paid for that because the belts are not on the line. So the IBF is not getting paid for him fighting Earl Spence at 54. So since you're not fighting him and you fighting Earl Spence at 54, we want to get paid off that. We want to get paid off our belt.
I think it's crazy. You know that it's wrong, Free.
Hold on one second.
For them to take the belt. For them to take the belt, man. For them to steal the belt from him, man. You know it's wrong. I just hate that you won't see what the truth is. It's wrong. The man had the belt for 3 months and they stole the belt from him. Okay,
he had the belt for 3 months. He had the belt for 3 months, but
in almost 3 years, and he's still the WBC champion.
So, he should be stripped too. I ain't saying he shouldn't be stripped. He should be stripped too.
I mean,
go ahead.
At
63. He's not fighting at 60. He fighting at 63. He should be stripped too.
Well, you saying that, I'll give you a little bit of credit for that, but I just gotta say, man, it's just this is Steve. And then the funny thing is, you know, you hear behind the scenes that Boots isn't happy about it, but he pushed for it to happen. That don't happen without him pushing for that. So I love how he threw the rock. I said, I've heard behind the scenes that JaRon Ennis is not happy with that. He's not happy about getting the belt in this manner. But I think that's all talk.
He might not be happy the way he got the belt, but he wanted his title. He wanted his title shot. He's probably not happy because he wanted to show everybody that he can beat Bud. That's probably why he's not happy. He wanted to show everybody he can beat Bud. And Bud turned him down. It's not like Boots turned the fight down. Bud turned the fight down. So if you're going to be mad at somebody, be mad at Bud. You can't be mad at Boots or the sanctioning body. Bud came out and told the sanctioning body, I'm not fighting them.
But the thing that you want the two-time undisputed champion to waste time on fighting a contender. I think that's crazy.
That's not a contender. That's a mandatory. Do you understand that Bud Crawford has never defended his undisputed title?
He hasn't defended it yet, no.
Never defended. Even at 140.
Had it 3 months.
Even at 140, he never defended a undisputed title. He's never defended.
Other than Devin, I think Pernell.
You know what he did? He did the same.
I've never seen people do that.
The same exact thing that happened to Bud at 140 just happened to him again. He had an IBF mandatory, and he said, I'm not fighting him, and he dropped the belt. The same exact thing happened at 140. The same exact thing. Same sanctioning body, same situation. He said, I'm not fighting him.
They got a grudge against him.
No. They got a grudge. Bud said he's not fighting him. They ain't forced him to fight. They said, this is your mandatory. The guy is the mandatory. He was standing in line waiting to fight. He was your mandatory. That's what mandatories do. They fought their way to fight the champion. Now I'm next in line. You fought him. You're the champion. I'm next in line. I'm not fighting you. I don't care if you're next in line or not. I'm not fighting you. Okay, since you're not fighting him, we're taking your title.
Salute to my man Picasso, man. He said that Shakur got to fire everybody and hire a new team. He's got leeches all over him like a dude fell in that water.
And Bud is not the only person that the IBF did it to, because the IBF stripped Canelo for not fighting. I think it was Triple G. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Triple G. Canelo said he wasn't fighting him, and the IBF stripped him as well. IBF is the only one that stand by their rules. If you're the mandatory, you're next in line. If the champion don't fight you, they taking that title.
And you know, I just see that's what's the problem with boxing, man. There's no protection for the stars of boxing. You got people talking about how guys are not the undisputed champion because they, fought for undisputed, but then all of a sudden some guy had a junior belt and the guy's not like undisputed. So it's just like I just don't understand where boxing is going, man. It's just really ripping off the guys who make the biggest fights. I don't have to say names, but the biggest guys get penalized for this.
But ain't Boots is the one that you said if he going to get in the ring with Bud and playing around like he does, he gonna get knocked out?
Oh yeah, he getting beat to death.
Yeah. Obviously, Bud didn't think so.
Now let me ask you this. Let me step aside and ask you this. Who you think would win out of Bud and Terrence Crawford? That's a real question for you.
Boots and Terrence Crawford?
Yeah.
Don't know. Don't know. They got similar styles. I will favor Bud slightly because he's the veteran, but it's very slightly. It's like 50.5 to 49.5.
See,
it's very slightly.
When you say that stuff, man, all I
You have to stop. Y'all keep talking. Huh? You keep talking, man. And you shut the fuck up. Huh?
Now, if I get up here and I don't talk, you be talking to yourself.
Now you know for a fact that Boots will beat that Bud will beat the Philly cheesesteak out of Boots.
No, I don't.
You know that.
I don't know that. I don't know that. I'm gonna tell you why I don't know that, and you don't know that, because Bud wouldn't take the fight.
Bud got bigger fish to fry. Ain't no money in that fight.
What bigger fish he got to fry?
Terrence Crawford. He just had fish. He wants some more fish.
I said, what bigger fish do Terrence Crawford has to fry?
Errol Spence.
We already know the mandatory. We already know the rematch. We talking about after the rematch. What bigger fish does he have to fry? He's not fighting nobody before the rematch. We already know that. But he said he's not fighting him, period.
I mean, you got to remember, this is the same guy. You got to remember, Boots is the same guy left the WBO because he had a chance to activate his mandatory. But he doesn't want. He didn't want Bud. He never wanted Bud.
It doesn't matter if he left. It doesn't matter if he left the WBO or not. He's standing right there, right now. And all Bud got to do is fight him. Bud said, Bud could say, hey, look, I tried to fight you before. Since you're here now, we're going to go ahead and get it on so I can show everybody that you're not what you say you are. He had every opportunity to prove what he said. He said that man is not on my level. He has every opportunity to prove it. But Boots is standing right there saying, I want that fight. I'm next in line. That man said, nah, you're high risk with no reward. So if he's high risk with no reward, that means that Bud acknowledged that man can fight as well.
I get what you said. My man Juan said Corey Spinks, when he was undisputed, defended against Zab and won and fought Zab again and lost the belts. He said the IBF stripped Carlos because he beat Zab. I think the IBF just kind of showed that it's got a little bit of crookedness to it because the guy had the belt for 3 months, free. 3 months, man. You took the belt from him? I mean,
so I'm gonna tell you like this. Mm-hmm. The WBC just stripped daggone what's the girl name? The one that lost to Carissa for undisputed.
Was it
Savannah Marshall?
Savannah Marshall.
They stripped Savannah Marshall, and she got an injury. She just won the belt. She just won undisputed like probably about 3 months ago.
Then she beat Cruz. You talking about she beat Cruz? Yeah.
And she got an injury. They were supposed to have a rematch. She got an injury. They stripped her. Now Cruz is fighting Sadesa Green for the WBC, not for all the rest of the belt, just for the WBC. So you saying it was only 3 months? She only had her belt for 3 months when she got stripped.
So that just means that the sanctioning body's got too much power, man. What do you think that means? Why they got so much power?
The sanctioning body is telling you the ball does not stop with you, nigga. We keep rolling. That's why I keep telling y'all. These belts up here don't matter to me. They matter to the fighters. They don't matter to me.
They don't tell
the
you
belts don't matter. They don't matter to me.
They don't tell you who the best is?
Huh?
They don't tell you who the best is?
No, not all the time.
I don't know. Well,
not all the time.
We gotta talk about this. This is something I really have been thinking about, man. And I'm sure it's people in the chat that want to talk as well. I might bring a couple people up. But what do you think about boxing almost being exclusively on YouTube and Twitter? We control the conversation. You got fighters saying F YouTubers, F guys on Twitter. Is that good or bad for the sport?
You said boxing being almost exclusively on boxing and Twitter?
No, I'm talking about the boxing media is almost exclusively on YouTube and Twitter. I don't know if you heard Devin the
I mean,
American Dream was going pretty
boxing.
hard at the Twitter guy.
It's been like that. It's been like that for a while, for some years now. It's been like that. This ain't nothing new. We've been saying that for some years now. That if you want to know about boxing, you want to hear about boxing, you got to come to YouTube. Because,
but what you think about guys saying F the YouTuber and YouTubers getting threatened and all this crazy stuff for giving honest, unbiased opinion? You think about that? You think that's good for the sport or is that bad?
You talking about the boxers fighting on the YouTubers?
No, I'm saying, okay, I'll give you an example. There's a popular YouTuber, I don't want to say other people's names on our channel, but there's a popular YouTube Twitter guy, and Devin Haney went all his way to say F him, F his mama, all this wild stuff. And then you had Terrence Crawford invite the man to his private parts. So what I'm saying is that just classless by the fighters, or is it a good thing when they come back at
No,
Twitter
I mean,
YouTuber that way?
It all depends on what did the person say for him to say that, because you can't, just because you have a platform, it doesn't mean you could just say anything. You gotta understand that these people have lives, have family outside of boxing, and they're real people. They not just here for your entertainment. They're real people. So they make a living out of this. That doesn't mean that you can just go out here and just talk about them any kind of way and they not going to respond, because if you saying something wrong out your mouth, they have every right to respond to it. So I'm not going to hold nobody accountable. I mean, I'm not going to look down on nobody because if it was me and you was talking about me crazy, I'm definitely going to say something to you. I might pull up on you.
No, free. Now I'm gonna ask you this. Now I know how you are. I know how you are pretty much from doing the show with you. If a man called you and said, invited you to his nuts, you wouldn't take kindly to that, man. Like
No.
these fighters don't understand it. They can really get hurt, man. This ain't no boxing ring. You know what I mean? They can really get hurt out here. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, he might have told the man to do that, but there's no telling what the man said before that, because I got to see the whole content of the conversation, because the man could have said something else crazy out of his mouth, and he's like, you know what, this and that. So I gotta see what the whole context of the conversation was about, because I'm not going to just say, oh, the boxer was that wrong because he said that, because I don't know what that other man said. You're not telling me what the other man said.
To his privates, bro.
I don't care what it is. He could say, I'm gonna kill you. I don't care what it is. I gotta know what the other man said to make him say that.
My bad.
No, I'm not gonna say, because I don't know what the other man said to make him say that. Devin Haney ain't gonna just come out and say, hey, for no reason. You had to say something for him to do that. So I gotta know what the other man said, because I don't see none of these fighters just going off the deep end for no fucking reason and just say, hey, and inviting a man to his nuts. I don't see nobody doing that.
It's just, salute to my brother Prize, fighter just slipped in the building. Let me ask you
I'll be right back. Y'all go ahead and chop it up real quick. I'll be right back.
All right, let me ask you this real quick, Prize. Now, if a man invites you to his private parts, man, that's beyond disrespect. That's a good way to get hurt bad. Salute to my brother G5. Salute to my brother AB in the chat, man. What you think about that, man? We got fighters out here inviting guys to their privates, man. That's crazy. I don't know what happened to my man Prize, but I'll say this, y'all. I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy that these fighters are going to this kind of degree to say something like that, to invite somebody to their privates. I mean, come on, dude. At the end of the day, bro, you got to be better than that. You can't just do that. I mean, hold on one second. You just can't tell no man, oh, I'm gonna invite you to my privates. Come on, bro. That's unreal, man. That's unreal. I mean, I'll say this. There's nothing somebody can say for me to speak that way. What you think, Juan? What you think about this whole thing about fighters going at YouTubers and trick people on Twitter, man?
I mean, a lot of them do be talking out their neck for some real reason, but I respect, everybody's opinion. You got to respect everybody's opinion. As a boxer, even too, you got to learn how to take criticism. So a lot of times these boxers, they get hurt. and they feelings and stuff. So it's weird. But also, YouTubers do be talking out their neck a lot. So it's just
I
it's
mean,
just a
come
matter of
on, man.
respect for me.
Right now, I gotta say this one. You pushing the envelope. Most YouTubers are being. Not everybody's like me. Everybody's not as unbiased and experienced as me. But there are guys that try to give you the best information they possibly can. And I think it's crazy, man. Like I've actually I'll tell you something. I didn't have fathers come at me. The Asiatic black man. But only telling the truth. I don't talk about feelings. I don't talk about emotions. I only tell you what I see and what I think.
No,
You was talking crazy.
and
You was
and I hear
talking
you,
crazy.
and I hear you. You know what I'm saying? I hear you. I definitely hear you because I troll a little bit here and there. This is just trolling. Everybody know I'm kind of playing, but there are certain YouTubers, and I can tell you right now, a lot of YouTubers that do talk out their neck, and they be talking like they really step in that ring or something. So it's like you guys gotta watch out. These guys are trained athletes to like hurt other athletes. This is not like playing. It's not a game. Like a lot of them have anger issues. Can't really be like, you know what I'm saying? They're like, oh well, this and that. It's just it's real. A lot of times it's real.
Yeah, and you gotta and see, and this is what I keep trying to tell people. Y'all gotta remember that these fighters are human, and a lot of them ain't come up like Devin Haney came up. A lot of them came from the streets, and they ain't had no way out but the box. So a lot of these fighters got street in them. So when they talking crazy, thinking, oh, he's a boxer, he's a celebrity, quote unquote. Nah, these dudes are real people. They real people. You don't just see them on TV. You can see them on TV tonight and see them in your local mall tomorrow. They real people.
Yeah, man.
But come on, free man. This a thing. You taking away, removing the veil, man. Ali never got to touch his fans like these guys get a chance to do now. So I think it's crazy.
What?
It's just crazy, man, how we just don't understand it. Yo, I think what's going on is wrong, free. You cannot.
Ali talk crazy to everybody.
No, what I'm saying is his fans never got to touch him the way that we get to touch the boxers now. You see what I mean? Because the world wasn't as small as it is with the internet.
That's because back then niggas actually respected the fighters. Nowadays niggas be trying to rob the fighters. They got money, they be trying to rob them. They're like, you ain't getting close to me.
And it's sad because I know a couple like pro boxers that like had to like we'll be in the club or something and had to knock some dude out because they tried him so funny. And it's just like you guys got to understand these dudes are trained for a reason. Like you know what I'm saying? These guys work for this for a reason. It's not a game. A lot of these dudes they just did that to survive. Now they're making millions of dollars off it. It's not because they suckers. They just
you know what's funny? I'll tell you something funny, man. I was watching a Mike Tyson clip, and he was basically talking about how guys talk a good game until their head is busted wide open, and I really believe that because I was like probably the end of one-on-one combat, in the street where if we had an issue, most cats was gonna throw hands at the pool, and I think that's really missing from now because. Say a fighter come up to the wrong guy, right? And then something bad happens to him. Say he becomes unalive or something like that. Then you want to blame the person who did it. But at the end of the day, you gotta watch your mouth. It's just like one thing I learned is don't ever give it to nobody calls that don't want it. And I'm telling you, we're gonna start seeing some boxes get laid down if they keep coming at Captain's way. I'm just telling you, man. But salute to my brother Juan, and I appreciate you coming through, my brother.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
My man Picasso said, hold on one second. He said, just say you went off on a YouTuber, just so happens to be the kid of a cartel or gangster. You have to take that into consideration. He said, real talk, you never know. He said, I just uninvited myself. What do you say? The thing on the road, because that experience, and the cop told me you can't have a wreck over here in Arizona, or your address. Okay, or your address is vulnerable. I'll just say this though. I just think it's crazy that now we got to the place in boxing where guys want to be gangsters and they want to be hoodlums. See, Ali didn't do that, man. Sugar Ray Leonard never did that. I don't know, Free. I think guys are going in the wrong direction with this boxing, man. You know, I think Sugar Shakur is a prime example that now he calling people cops, and at the end of the day, my dream was to be protected by the cops when I got grown. Because when you grow up in the inner city, getting disrespected every single day, man. I just think that's crazy. Free, what you think about that, man?
I mean, it's all about the environment that you grew up in. A lot of these people grew up in the inner cities, and a lot of these young guys that's fighting now, they look at the authorities differently than you looked at them back in the days. Like, so I mean, you gotta you're a product of your environment, and so a lot of these guys come from the inner cities, and that's what they see all the time, and that's what they grow up to do because that's what they was around up. They pretty much their whole life until they got into the sport of boxing, and so a lot of them get into the sport of boxing to get away from it. That's why you see a lot of them when they become boxers and they make a little bit of money, they move away from their neighborhoods because they're trying to get away. They're trying to find a way out. They can't make it in football or basketball for whatever reason or any other sport, but they found boxing to be their way to make it out.
Hey, what's going on, Prize? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you got me this time.
Yeah, let me ask you a question, man. Now,
Yeah.
you grew up pretty well off as a kid, man. When you hear like this is Richie Rich on the phone right here, D3. This dude, this is this is Richie Rich on the phone right here.
Oh,
But let me ask you this, man. Now, you being a kid of privilege, man, did you
man,
ever
hold on.
want to
Don't
act like
start it
shit?
off like that.
No,
Shout out BVO Boxing. Shout out BVO Nation. Shout out to the homie D3, man. What is he? Don't set me up like that.
I'm setting you up, man. I'm asking a question, man.
Damn,
It's only because
crazy.
we moving around and you thought I said something different. All I'm saying is you being a kid of privilege that came up really well off. I'm asking you, man. Do you think it's cool? Did you ever think it's cool to be tough?
Every kid had that moment where, you know, they think that they that person, they that guy. You know, we all go through that, all of us, regardless of where you come from. You know, we gonna think that we the toughest, you know, at one point.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, these cats, these new cats, they on another level than me, Free, you. You know, they on something else, man. And I feel bad for the young boys, man. The young boys, they just talk crazy, man. And you know, they say things and like there's a lot of cameras and microphones everywhere, man. So they say one thing, then you see them on another channel saying another, like I'm saying, like we not gonna see that, you know what I mean? So, but you know, to answer your question, you know, I don't think it's cool, but you know, it's gonna happen. It is what it is.
Well, let me get back to boxing, man. I'm gonna ask you a question, Chris. I really want to get your honest opinion. What do you think about Anthony Joshua pursuing Francis Ngannou? Is this going to be a mistake or this a clout chase? What you think? I think you froze, Free.
Oh, you was asking me?
Yeah. I said, what do you think? What do you think about Anthony Joshua him and Eddie Hearn going out of their way to pursue Francis Ngannou? You think this is a clout chase, or you think this is a legitimate fight that?
No, they was trying to do it for a money grab. But from what I've been hearing, they supposed to be having another fight coming up. They trying to make this mega car with Deontay Wilder fighting against Joseph
Parker,
Joseph Parker and Anthony Joshua. I forgot who Anthony Joshua. Ottawa Lynn.
Who I don't think that he can beat Ottawa Lynn, by the way.
I don't know, but yeah. So I think the Francis Ngannou, I think is just more so a money grab. It's not no clout chase because Francis Ngannou don't have no clout in the sport of boxing. It's more so a money grab.
Yeah, you know this is.
Well, I disagree. I think Francis got tons of clout right now. Right now, like we know the real deal, but as far as his clout go, like I think that he can pretty much.
Who?
Francis.
Why would Anthony Joshua need clout from Francis?
No, he doesn't need the clout, but it's a money grab.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. It's not no clout chase because Francis Donna don't have no clout compared to Anthony Joshua.
That's why I say I don't think it's a clout chase. I think it's a money grab type of thing. Like, because Francis don't need no clout in boxing right now. He walking around here like he the heavyweight champ right now. For real. He walking. I ain't saying he is. I ain't saying you said that, but the way he feel is that he the champ. So I don't feel like he need any clout. But that, as far as that card, I think that card is trash. I seen a couple reports saying, well, you know, Joshua and Wilder in talks, but Parker and Wallin in the way. In the way of what? These are two megastars.
That's Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn.
Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn is in the way. They putting them fights in the way and want to do this mega card to make some money and then promote it that way when it doesn't need that. And that's why I don't like, you know, in boxing. Listen, man, I've been watching boxing for a long time, man. And the way it is right now, it's to the point to where I don't even care if I miss the fights anymore. Now, I was at the fights the other day, amateur fights. You know, that's how much I love boxing. I'd rather go see that than to see what these people are doing nowadays. You know,
let me do this real quick. I got a quick caller that want to come in real quick. Let me put a quick caller up real quick. Now, boxing nerd. Now we know you from Canada, so you don't know about no real boxing. But
shut the hell up.
Damn.
Hey, hold on 1 second. Let me
set that man up like
one of the greatest boxers of all time represents Canada, Lennox Lewis. So don't even talk about.
He's from Jamaica. He's from Jamaica, bro.
Nah, when he went to the Olympics, he fought out of where? Nah, when he went to the Olympics, he was representing what? Who was he representing when he went to the Olympics?
His name is Lennox.
It's Lennox, you dummy. It's Lennox. You guys don't know how to pronounce names. Hold on, BVO. You don't know how to pronounce no names. D Free, you said Ngongo. It's Ngannou.
I don't care. I don't care what his name is. It doesn't matter to me.
Don't say the name.
It doesn't matter.
Say the Cameroonian. You can't pronounce no name to save your life, man.
I call him Francis.
I don't care what his name is.
Hold on.
Well, he made a joke out of boxing, so you should remember his name.
Hold on. 1 second.
I don't care what his name is.
Hold on. I know you're a live dog boxing nerd. You're one of my favorite callers. But let me ask you this real quick. Now, back to what I was saying. From you being from Canada where there's no real boxers. Let me ask you this. So, what you seen with Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou? I think I'm saying his name right. I know y'all what's in there cats get upset. But what you seeing from Francis Ngannou? Can you be honest on here and say that Tyson Fury was just playing and got caught? Can you be honest with the people?
I don't care for Tyson, so I'm not going to try and save his ass whatsoever. You pronounce his name correctly. It is Ngannou. Correctly. Well done. You could teach your friend B Free how to pronounce names and reteach some English and all that stuff.
But I don't need to know how to pronounce his name. No. What does he matter? He doesn't matter.
What do you mean he doesn't matter? He made a joke out of boxing.
No, he doesn't matter. He's 0-1 in the sport of boxing. He does not matter.
He made a joke out of boxing. The majority of everybody, including the boxers.
My point exactly. He does not matter. My point exactly. He does not matter.
So him whooping on the heavyweight champion of the world, the supposed greatest boxer, greatest heavyweight of all time.
No, because
who said he was the greatest of all time?
I know a lot of people. A lot of people.
What people? Yatu?
Yeah. No, not me.
I would never say. I don't
know nobody that say he's the greatest of all time.
There's a lot of people on Twitter. The Twitter makes up a lot of boxing.
I ain't on Twitter.
YouTube's dead right now when it comes to.
I've never heard nobody say he was the greatest.
I've never heard that. Never.
I've heard a lot of people say
that. Let me ask you this. Now,
yes, sir.
When we talk about undisputed champion, heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, can we just be honest and say?
Whoa! What did you just say?
Undisputed heavyweight champion.
He ain't the undisputed. I went through this with you because he had 3 belts before and he lost those. Whether they were stripped, he dropped them. However, he doesn't have them anymore.
Free. Why do you want to go through that? Why do you want to make your brain explode?
That does not make you undisputed.
Free. BVO's.
Why do you want to make your brain
explode
with his shenanigans? Why do you
don't understand? He said Teofimo is a 2-time undisputed. He's nonsense.
Hold on. I didn't say that. Derek James said that. The great Derek James.
Derek James is
and Derek James was wrong as well.
He's been wrong about a lot of things.
And I said that he was wrong when he said it.
Derek James doesn't watch boxing. He needs to start watching boxing because his boy got whooped. Remember when you said? You remember that, don't you? Am I opening a wound? Am I opening a scar?
Well, let me do this.
Hurts,
let me do this. Before I get my man boxing out here, let me ask you this quick question. So,
Yes,
going forward, can you admit this? That when you watch boxing now, we really starting to see, a real lot of people trying to go away from it for MMA. Is that just me seeing that, or do you see it as well?
It's been happening for years, man. Unfortunately, it's been
and
happening for years.
And I say that because all jokes aside, you one of my most loyal subscribers, man. I really appreciate it because you've actually taught me a couple things about boxing, stuff I already knew, but you brought some stuff.
So then how did I teach you?
Hey, I rediscovered this. Teaching was the wrong word. I rediscovered a couple things from talking to you. Well, I'll say this. So going forward, man, I want to get your top 5 pound for pound before you get out of here. What's your top 5 pound for pound?
Number 1 through 5 is JaRon Boots Ennis.
Okay. On that note, you just named the email champion, a guy who got a belt.
Can I defend my case?
No,
go ahead.
That's not actually top 5. He can have him as top 5 pound for pound. He can have him as top 5.
Skill wise, is he not top 5 in terms of skill?
Yes, he is.
He's not no Tio, bro. He's not no Tio, bro.
Okay, that's fair.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming at some point.
I was waiting.
We went too long.
Me and you were just waiting for him to say Tio.
I knew it was coming at some point. And he was trying to find out. He was looking for an opportunity to say it.
Oh, here we go.
And he found it.
Yep. It's not the takeover. It's the garbage man Tio.
The garbage man. The garbage
man Lopez. The garbage man Lopez. That's such a New York name too. The garbage man. Hey, Lopez. Come on. But
hey, coming from Canada, man. Go ahead.
No, you got Boots, and who else you got in there?
Who number 4?
Terrence, of course. You have to put Usyk up there. You have to put.
He's a heavyweight. Take him out of there. He's a heavyweight. Take him out of there.
We're talking about skills and resume. He's top 5. I don't care what nobody says. We have to put a new way up there. I have to put Gervonta, regardless of his resume, man. That guy's nasty, bro. Like all-time lightweights, he gives everybody in the history of lightweight problems.
Yeah.
Am I crazy for saying that?
You're more than crazy.
Free. I know you're the historian. Back me up on this.
You're not crazy. You're not crazy at all.
Would have beat him to death.
See what BVO wants. He wants you to say his top 5. If you don't say his top 5, you crazy. That's what BVO wants. If you don't say his top 5, you're crazy because nobody's top 5 going to make sense unless it's the top 5 that he gives.
I know. He's a duck case.
No. But
yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Because I was like, it's a bunch of guys that would beat the brakes off the team. I think Roberto Duran would beat him.
I can't disagree with that one. Roberto Duran's a killer.
I think the pillow-fisted Pernell Whitaker would have beat him. I think
Pernell Whitaker wasn't pillow-fisted, man.
I would think Oscar De La Hoya would have beat him. I mean, it's a bunch of lightweights that would beat him easy, bro.
I shake my head at De La Hoya. I don't know about that one.
BBO, you fighting a unbeatable battle
right now. Exactly.
That's that man's opinion. You can't argue that man's opinion. That man's opinion is that man's opinion.
I'm trying to educate the brother, but
no, his opinion is his opinion. That's who he got in his top
BBO,
5.
What's your top 5?
Hey, but this is what I'm gonna do.
You don't want to hear that.
My man Boxing Scholar. Hey man, shout out to YouTube and your Twitter, man.
You don't want to hear BBO. You don't want to hear BBO's top 5. I'm telling you, he gonna say some off the wall shit.
BBO top 5.
I want to know. BBO, give me your top 5.
This is what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna let you go back to the chat, and I'm gonna stay and watch the chat, and I'll bring you back up. I want to make sure you hear this live. But
BBO,
now this is your boy BBO's top 5. Number 1 has got to be Monster Inoue. Number 2 has to be two-time undisputed champion Terrence Bud Crawford. Number 3 has to be the greatest fighter of this era, the untouchable. Probably one of the best Mexican fighters we've ever seen ever. Oscar De La Hoya. Not Oscar De La Hoya. Canelo Alvarez. Number 4 is a guy. He don't have a belt, but I'm really putting this off talent. I think David Morrell is number 4. And
Damn.
number 5, for me, this is just me, I would have to put my guy, man. I would have to put my guy, man, what's that kid's name? I just lost it. I just lost his name. Shoot. He's at bantamweight. I can't think of his name. You know what I'm talking about, Free. The little dude that's at 112.
At 112?
Yeah.
Bam Rodriguez? No, he's
Bam.
at one.
Is he
at 112 or is he at 118?
He's at 118. My mistake, at 118. So I would say that would be my.
So you got
top
them
5.
over Tio and
Only reason I put Tio up there.
Hold on, did you say Oscar De La Hoya the best Mexican fighter?
No, I said that wrong. I said Canelo. So I got number 1 Inoue, number 2 Terrence Crawford, number 3 Canelo Alvarez, number 4 David Morrell, and number 5 I would say Bam Rodriguez.
You got David Morrell.
So what you telling me is
Haney, Gervonta Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez.
Well, these guys are top 6. These guys are top 6.
Nah, bro.
David
Morrell did nothing for
see,
you.
BVO, when you do your top 5, when you do your top 5, you mean every number 5. Number 5 is your number 5 because he can't beat nobody in the top 4. Your number 4 is your number 4 because he can't beat nobody in the top 3. Your number 3 is your number 3 because he can't beat nobody in the top 2. And your number 2 is number 2 because he cannot beat the top 1. That's what you do when you do your top 5. That's what you do when you do all of them. All your top 10, top 15, top 20. That's how you break it down. So if you saying Monster Anyway, now I have no beef. Mm-hmm. I just want to get your understanding. You saying Monster Anyway would beat Bud Crawford if they was at the same weight.
He was stopping.
Okay. But you said Boxer was crazy when he said Boots was in his top 5 because he didn't have Tio. But you didn't have Tio neither.
I got Tio number 6. I mean, listen.
How do you have David Morrell over Teofimo Lopez, though, bro?
Because what I'm seeing from David Morrell, and you're going to see this too, David Morrell is probably, I mean, you can't say this until you see it. From skills-wise, he looks like the best fighter in boxing. I
got Morrell in my top 5.
I'm just telling you from watching fights.
Yeah, wait, you got him in your top 5 too?
Yeah, I got him in my top 5. I got him at number 5.
You got
in my top 5.
Based off of what?
I got him based off his skills. How many fights
does he have?
Based off of his skills. See, when we do pound for pound, is skill versus skill.
The only criteria. All right, let me ask you a question. The only criteria you go for on pound for pound when you create a pound for pound list, the only criteria you go about is skills.
That's what the pound for pound. No, that's not what the pound for pound was made.
Don't count.
You know, pound for pound was not made. Pound for pound was made. This skill set versus this skill set. If they were the same size, who will win? That's what the pound for pound are based off of. Yeah. Because those two fighters have never fought.
I like to have a different little criteria in mind. I like to have skills.
I understand. I like people like to have
accomplishments in certain different things.
I understand all that. I understand how people like to put all that stuff in there. But I'm old school. I'm going what it was based off of. And when they came up with the pound for pound, it was based off of this skill set versus this skill set. If they was the same size, who will win? That's what they based it off of. They didn't say by your resume. They didn't say by your accomplishment. They just said if this skill set was versus this skill set, who will win? That's what it's based off of. So I know people like to put accomplishments in there, and they like to go a resume.
Go ahead, Free. Go ahead, Free.
Everybody has a right to their pound for pound list. That's why I don't knock nobody's pound for pound list, because I know people they do it differently. So I don't knock nobody's,
I'll
but
say
I
this:
go
I
by
knock pound
how
for
it was
pound
made.
list. I knock them all the time because some of them just be atrocious. Like my brother BVO's is just asinine. But I hear you with that pound for pound Free. I hear you. I feel like that criteria is dated. I feel like it's a new time, a new day, and I think that we should just, because like skill wise, okay. So if that's the case, so how do you
stop? Y'all keep talking, huh? You keep talking, man, and you shut the fuck up, huh?
That's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you, Prize. My bad is this.
Don't get mad at me, nigga. I'm here telling the truth.
yeah, I mean,
If somebody else should have told you this.
Go ahead.
That shit cool and all, but again, like I said, it's 2023, bro. When you doing your pound for pound, like
I'm about to switch over to my
a little bit more.
video.
It's a little bit more than
Okay.
just skill. You know, that's definitely part of it, but it's a little bit more to it to me.
So what's your pound for pound? Let's swoop to my man Clarence. Clarence, pull up now. I know you're scared. Pull up. Go ahead.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, I can't do it in order, but I like Crawford. I like I definitely like Javante in there. Crawford. I mean, I gotta put I guess I gotta put the kid Inui in there. He's pretty sharp.
You remember he beat your boy Fulton to death.
Yeah, shout out Scooter. I gotta sit down and I can't do that, man, like off the top, right? I can't.
Well, this the thing you gotta remember. This thing you gotta remember, man. When we're talking about pound for pound list, it's one thing Free said that was actually true. It's really just based off opinion to some extent. But the key is this: if you know boxing, you know that Monster Inoue is the best fighter. If he was as big as Tyson Fury, he would beat Tyson Fury. If he was as big as Terence Crawford, he would beat Terence Crawford. You just gotta call what you see, because a lot of people said that they said that Monster Inoue was gonna get killed by this guy Fulton, and he went in there and beat him to death. So I mean, it's just tough to say, man. But I'll say this: going into this fight with Sugar Shakur, man, I really hope he makes a statement, because if not, there's going to be cause to pause, man, because this dude has been talking a lot of cash money, and we got to see if he can really back it up, man. I don't know. I hope he can back it up. What you think?
No. Now, what I would say is, the reason why I don't put in accolades and resumes and stuff like that is because there's certain fighters that don't get the opportunity that other fighters get. So that's the reason why I don't throw accolades and resumes in there. Not saying that all of them do, but some of them don't get the opportunity that other fighters are awarded. And so that's why I don't do it. But like I said, I don't knock nobody's pound for pound, because that's based off opinion. That's who you believe can win, and so that's your opinion. And I don't knock nobody's opinion.
Yeah, I was telling you, you know, it's funny, man. We was talking about boxing, and I always hear people. What?
I don't think no goddamn Monster Anyway is number one. Me personally, I don't think Monster Anyway number one.
Well, you see what he do, man. He beat, Donaire, who was walking right to the Hall of Fame, and then he just beat Stephen Fulton to death, man. I mean, yeah. Stephen Fulton, we haven't heard or seen him since he got beat up like that.
But you act like any one of those guys beat somebody that was in my top 10 pound for pound. They haven't.
I didn't get to hear all your pound for pound top 5, but I think one thing that we do agree on, which is kind of cool, is David Morrell, man. I think David Morrell is special, man. I really do. I think David Morrell he can be a legend. If he wants it, he can be a legend. I think he's that good. Only thing is, when Canelo beats him to death, I just hope he can come back from that devastating loss, because Canelo's going to hurt him bad. Because he's been talking cash money to Canelo, And you know, Canelo don't play that talking crazy stuff, man. You see him did the Triple G, he's gonna do the same type of thing. What you think, man? I think my man Free went out of here. But I'm gonna share something with everybody on here, man. He said, and if anyway gets undisputed, he's really the best fighter in the world. He gets undisputed. I feel like this.
What was that you just said?
No, what I was saying is I just hope that Dave Morrell, once he fights Canelo and gets that devastating loss, I hope he can come back from it, is what I'm saying. I'm hoping that after he gets beat up real bad, I hope he can come back and still be the same guy. Because Canelo, Canelo don't play that talking crazy to him stuff. When you talk crazy to Canelo, he's gonna hurt you bad. So that's my only thing, and that's my biggest worry.
You talking about David Benavidez and Canelo?
No, I'm talking about David Morrell.
I don't think Canelo's gonna ever fight David Morrell. I don't think he's ever gonna fight David Morrell. I could bet my bottom dollar he ain't gonna ever fight Morrell.
We never thought he would fight a Charlo, did we?
No, you do realize it took him like 14 years to fight Charlo. He ain't got another 14 years to wait around to try to wait for Morrell to get older and slow down. He ain't got 14 years to wait on that. And it wasn't Jamel Charlo. It was Jamal Charlo that everybody was calling for.
And you know something? I want to have this conversation, but I want to try to be respectful because I know that our podcast has different ears. Can I ask you a question now? When you see Jamal Charlo in his press conference, man, is it just me or he looks different? Like his face, I mean, he don't look the same. Is it just me that he doesn't look the same, or am I thinking something wrong?
Who that?
Jamal Charlo. It's just me or he just looks off. Is it just me that thinks that?
No, I don't think he looked off. I think he just.
I don't know what happened.
You ain't gonna knock me out.
You went out. I didn't hear you, bro.
No, I was saying I don't think he was off. I think he just knew he couldn't win, so he was like, "Nah, you're not gonna knock me out. You might beat me, but you ain't gonna knock me out."
No, I'm talking about Jamal. I don't know if you seen that press conference with Jamal. I'm saying, is it just me? He don't look like the same way he did when he fought Montiel. He doesn't look the same.
Oh, I mean, I gotta see how he looked when he
I'm talking
fights.
about his face. Did you see his face?
I mean,
his face was off.
But that could just be the fact that he was tired, or it could be the fact that he put on some weight. I don't know.
Salute to Tay in the chat. The Queen of MMA saved it this weekend because I'll be honest.
He might have had a sparring match before he had that interview.
I don't know, I don't want to cast aspersions about what it is. I just say this, man. He don't look the same, man. I'm hoping whatever he's going through, he can get past because it's looking like he might never get past it, man. It's kind of sad.
We'll find out. We'll find out come the 25th how he gonna look. Because if he don't look the same and he go in there, he get beat up by Jose Benavidez, he need to go ahead and hang it up. Because Jose Benavidez is definitely no world beater. So if he go in there and he get beat up by Jose Benavidez, yeah, you might as well say Jamal is done.
Let me ask you this: can Jamal still make the Hall of Fame or no?
I don't know if Jamal did enough to make the Hall of Fame, to be honest with you. Now I know he's a 2-division champion, but when you look at his resume, he doesn't have those key names on his resume to say, okay, yeah, he's a Hall of Fame fighter. Now his brother, yeah, but Jamal, I don't know. I don't know if he did enough.
So you be comfortable saying that Jamel Charlo is going to be it's in your opinion, you would say he's a Hall of Famer already.
Jamel?
Yeah, Jamel.
I say Jamel probably will make the Hall of Fame. I'm not gonna say it's a definite, but if I had to bet on it, I would say Jamel probably will make the Hall of Fame because you look at the names that he have on his resume. I would say he probably will make the Hall of Fame.
Oh, you know what? I gotta be honest. To an extent, I really agree. But I want to ask you this: in boxing, because you kind of watch boxing a little bit before, you think boxing has a chance to still be number one with all that we're seeing in boxing now, or no?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know because it's different nowadays than it was back in the 80s and the 90s, and even in the early 2000s. It's different. So you gotta look at the sport of boxing different nowadays than you do back then.
And why do you say that?
Because these fighters don't fight the same way. They not going after all of the big fights. They going after the bag. Hold on one second.
I'm gonna say this. Salute to Tay, man. I appreciate you saving my bacon on that as we were discussing MMA, because I'll be honest, your boy BDO is not very versed in MMA, and when we do MMA events, I'm definitely gonna have you up because I definitely didn't know a lot about it. But I'll tell you guys something. To see the sport that I love so much, man, I've seen the heavyweight champion pretty much get a decision robbery.
Yeah.
I'm kind of scared for my sport I love. You've seen Showtime close its doors. We've seen HBO close its doors. And at the end of the day, I know people were celebrating that Showtime got out of boxing, but just like when HBO left boxing, it hurt the whole sport, man. And I'm really worried about our sport, Free. And I think that we got to be a little bit more on guard, because other than the Tank Davis fight, we really have had one failure after the other. Because think about it, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence only did 700,000. That's nothing. I mean, do I think we can ever see 4 million like we did with Pretty Boy Floyd or Money Mayweather as he was? No. But to tell you the truth, man, the fact that we didn't get the American Dream Haney versus Tank, I blame Tank for that, because Tank could have did another million pay-per-views just with him and the American Dream.
All right,
I mean, I just really hope going forward, man, we get more of these big fights, because I'm telling you, man, we're gonna lose the sport we love with these guys picking and choosing who they want to fight, man. That's not how boxing works. And I don't think people understand, like, even Floyd probably regrets how he went about boxing, because he kind of, in some ways, destroyed the sport, man. What you think?
Who that?
Floyd Mayweather.
I think Floyd need to stop being P. Diddy and just be a promoter. he need to sit his old ass down somewhere and just be a promoter instead of always saying. Because I understand he's doing it because people was paying to see it, and it's partially y'all fault because y'all pay to see it. But he just need to sit down and let the young guys go ahead and fight, because his time is over. You done all you're gonna do in the sport of boxing. Your time is over. Now it's time for you to just be a promoter. If that's what you're gonna do, just be a promoter. You ain't gotta fight in order to keep your name relevant. You can be a hellified promoter and still be relevant in the sport of boxing.
Let me ask you this: Can a great fighter be a great promoter? Because we've seen Michael Jordan, who arguably is the greatest player of all time, is a terrible owner. Can a great player ever sit back and let somebody else do it?
Yeah, a great fighter should be an excellent promoter, because they know what it takes to make it in this business, and they know what the fans want to see. It's just a matter of, are they going to get out of their own self way? Because Floyd Mayweather, he wants to be the center of attraction. He don't want nobody to outdo what he's done in the sport of boxing. He want to be considered the best to ever do it. But
he said he didn't care about that. He said he wanted to be the most paid. But it seems like now that he's retired, he's changing his tune. What is that about?
I don't go by what Floyd say, because Floyd say one thing, but he do something else. Because we could be talking about Tank Davis as one of the best fighters that ever fought in the sport of boxing if Floyd and Leonard Ellerbe was just made the fights that the fans wanted to see, like the Lomachenko's, the Devin Haney's, the Teofimo Lopez, and the Gary Russells. If he would have made those fights, we could be talking about Tank Davis as one of the best fighters to ever do it.
Well, let me ask you that. That being said, and I know I kind of beat this like a dead horse. Do you think the Gary Russell that wanted to fight Tank back then, Tank had a chance to win? I don't.
He had a puncher's chance. I don't think his skill level was on Gary Russell's level, but Tank Davis do have that equalizer. So if he would have landed a shot on Gary, who knows? He might would have stopped Gary, but his skill level and his ring IQ was not on Gary's level at that time when Gary wanted to fight him.
You know something funny that I heard. I don't know if this is to be true. This is just a rumor I heard. I heard that Virgil Ortiz was reaching out to Gary Russell to possibly help him in camp. Do you think something like that would be good for Virgil Ortiz coming into his next fight? Being out the ring this long. Virgil Ortiz has kind of put Virgil Ortiz put it out there that he would like Gary Russell to teach him. What I'm saying is, you think something like that can actually happen?
Oh, Virgil and Gary and Matisse?
No, Gary Russell Jr. Virgil Ortiz expressed that he would like to have him teaching, if that makes any sense. Like he wants to work with him.
Oh, I mean that's solely up to Gary. I mean, nobody knows what Gary's going to do but Gary, because Gary's his own man. He doesn't do what the average person would do. So, I mean, I don't know if that would ever happen. That will solely be up to Gary, because, like I said, Gary's his own man. He do what he want to do. If he think he can make money out of it and it can help him in the long run, he probably would do it. But if he thinks he doesn't need them and he can still do the things the way he's been doing it, the way his father taught him how to do, then he's not gonna do it.
It's I could be wrong, but it sounded as if Virgil was basically saying he wants that mind that, because people, let's just be honest, if Gary Russell Jr. wouldn't have got blackballed by Floyd, we're talking about one of the most skilled fighters in boxing. And I think it's kind of cool that a guy like Virgil Ortiz would say, "I want you in my camp." I'm just hoping he would accept. What I'm saying is, you think Gary would do something like that, help a guy that's outside the family?
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. It all depends on Gary, because right now Gary is more focused on his brothers. So I don't know if he has the time to help out somebody else, because he's more focused on his career, if he's going to come back, and his two younger brothers. Because right now he's the trainer for his two younger brothers. So I don't know if he has the time to do it.
I tell you what, though, I thought that was pretty awesome and pretty big of Virgil Ortiz to, give him some flowers like that and say, "I would love to have you train me." What you think about that?
I mean, that's somebody that he would need. He would need somebody with the knowledge and the experience of a Gary Russell, because Virgil is a straightforward fighter. He needs somebody that's going to show him some footwork, some head movement, and some boxing ability, because Virgil don't have very great boxing ability. He just a power puncher. He's gonna wear you down and get you out of there. But with somebody like a Gary could teach him how to keep his head off the line. He could teach him how to move his feet and how to be able to spot certain situations and what to do in those certain situations.
I honestly, it's funny because hearing that whole rumor, man, it kind of let me know that Virgil Ortiz, man, is trying to be special. I mean, for him to say he want a guy like, I'm telling you this, man, Lomachenko was just different. But some of the performances I've seen with Gary Russell Jr., some of the performances I've seen with Demetrius, it's some guys in boxing that make boxing look like an art. And those guys, now, we all know BVO is not a big fan of slick fighters, but there's some fighters out there that make this thing look like an art, man. And I would say those are two guys that come to mind very easy. Like, man, I can't believe that Virgil would even think about getting somebody like that. You think if he had Gary Russell became a little bit more aware, he could be one of the best in the world?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely could have been if he would have got the opportunities to show. Like those other champions didn't want to fight him. He could have been undisputed at 126. He could have been working on his. He could have been working on his third division by now if he would have got the opportunity to fight the guys that he was trying to fight.
Mm-hmm.
He could be working on his third division right now because Gary Russell been at 126 his whole career. He's 35, 36 years old now. That man is still at 126. I don't know if he comes back, if he's going to be at 130, but he's been at 126 from the time he got in the sport of boxing until now.
Yeah. I'll tell you what though, I think it's kind of cool. A lot of these young fighters are like willing to ask the older fighters for advice. What you think about that, man?
I don't know, because I gotta see how these guys move in 2024, because 2023 everybody got high hopes for next year. I gotta see how these people move in 2024. I hope everything is moving in the right direction, but I gotta see what these guys do. I want to see more of the big fights that we got in 2023. I want to see that in 2024. I want to see the Benavidez versus Morrell. I want to see the Canelo versus Benavidez, the Canelo versus Boo Boo if Boo Boo happens to beat Benavidez. I want to see the Devin Haney, the Tank, and Shakur, and all those guys. I want to see all those guys.
You know, it's so funny, man. Never in a million years would I have thought that boxing would be PBC looking for a new home after a year like this. It's just crazy, man.
PBC, you say you never thought PBC or what?
I said I never thought I would see PBC looking for a home after what the kind of year they put on this year. I mean, this year was just fantastic, man.
It's not PBC doing the reason why they looking for a home. I mean,
I know it's not, but I'm just saying it just off the fact that this was such a good year for boxing. Like, I almost can say it kind of give me goosebumps to think that some of the fights that we getting.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it's not a good look for boxing, because at the end of 2024, Top Rank gonna be looking for a home as well.
You don't think ESPN will renew them?
They said they not.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they said they not. They said they not renewing them.
Hey, I didn't know that.
So, but the thing is, they could very well end up being back on ESPN because Amazon is trying to buy ESPN. They're trying to buy ESPN out. So, they very well could be back on ESPN. All of them could be on ESPN. It could be PBC and Top Rank on ESPN.
If we got that, man, that would be the best thing in the world. But it's your boy BBO. Hold on one second. He said at first it wasn't like that, BBO. Most fighters in this era were just saying they had no contract with the older fighters. After it was brought up, then Mike Tyson started interviewing fighters on his podcast. You know what I'll say? There's an old clip where Deontay Wilder was in the parking lot with Lennox Lewis, and Lennox was kind of showing Deontay Wilder something. And I'll never understand why AJ didn't want to be under Lennox's tutelage, man. But only American black fighters have been on this whole thing of not sharing game. Is that just me thinking that free, or is that how it's always been, you think? Like, it seemed like Ali supported everybody when he was old. When he was still moving around, he would come to a Mike Tyson fight. He'd come to a Sugar Ray Leonard fight. It's like Floyd and Mike Tyson have not done a good job of carrying that on. What you think?
Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying before. These guys, they just going for the big bag. They're not trying to fight the best. They're just trying to fight for the money. So I mean, that's why I said I got to see what they do in 2024, because we got 2023 and it was a great year of boxing, but I don't know what they're gonna do in 2024. We got to see.
Hey, but you know the thing we got to do next. This is the most important thing. We got to get my man D Free to 1,000 subscribers, man. This is ridiculous, y'all. We got to get my bro. You got to get my bro to 1,000 subscribers, man. And to tell you the truth, your boy BBO is only 103 subscribers away from 2,000. Help your boy get there. It's the Roll with the Punches podcast. We're gonna be back Tuesday with our boxing and NBA series right on D Free's channel. So you don't want to miss this. And this is what we do, man. We taking over boxing, man. We coming up for the top. And don't hate. It's gonna be a black man and a Puerto Rican on top. It's your boy BVO Boxing. It's your boy D Free. Like, comment, subscribe, and we gone. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot the video. Put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO. Bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO. This how it's finna go. I'ma throw some jabs. Make them think my punch is weaker than I hook his ass. This the ring, not the kitchen, but I'ma cook his ass. Me and him, that's the pro versus the rookie class. All my life I had to fight, but I still love it. Me and BVO got moves that you can't steal from us. And these haters be throwing shots, but I don't feel nothing. I ain't gonna lie, shit, they alright, but we a little rougher. Step up for the title and face your rival, this ain't no little tussle. Bet I be no bird, being chicken to get your feathers ruffled. Footwork, I'm dancing around my opponent like the Cupid shuffle. Good work, bodies hit the flow, they can't move a muscle. The upside is we ain't in the streets, shooting and shooting up. Catch me in the ring, sticking, moving and suited up. I know everybody can eat, but I ain't full enough. Oh, you said it's smoking some beef, I guess I'm pulling up. Oh, we boxing, yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video. Put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO. Bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO.